Hello, and thank you for joining our Fireside Chats at the European Cardano community. I am Marcus, one of the core team members, and if you like what we are doing, please consider supporting our individual projects. At time of this recording, these are Davide's Rookies Game, Ricardo's Web3 user group, or delegating to my Cardano stake pool with the ticker birth to support us at Larissa Health. You will find the links to our guests and our projects below the video. Now hit the notification bell, give us a thumbs up, and enjoy this session.
Welcome to T-1, guys.
Yeah, we
This
actually
is-
know them because we had them as guests a couple of months ago. So it's,
Yeah, Niels.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Niels and myself and Igor and Sunny and a few from the Wi-Fi team, we've been working on this now for almost a year. God almighty. This has been a big one. The big thing to add as well, I'll go through it and you'll see. You'll see what we've done. So this is the main page, which everyone knows has got your sales on it, right? Current sales, pre-sales. The difference between a pre-sale and a current sale is that a pre-sale has preconditions, such as holding an NFT or being a participant in an ISPO. You've got upcoming, and then we've got closed, which of course we don't have any yet because we haven't had any previous sales. Now, where it gets a bit more interesting, user details, you've got your purchase history. This is your claim screen. So this is where users come and actually claim their vested tokens. And we'll go into why this is so important in a minute. Then we have our analytics. This is where it goes, purchase token, the buy price that you had at the current price, total invested, and the total return. And this is just being drawn in from Wi-Fi's decks, Muesli Swaps decks, and Mint Swaps decks for prices. At the moment, of course, it's just an input because it's TM1. We haven't launched anything yet. KYC, super important for any launchpad. We're going to be fully regulated. We're based out of Switzerland, following all the laws. So everyone has to be KYC'd who participates, and all the businesses that participate have to be KYB. We'll go into a little bit more detail of what we've managed to do there as well in a moment. This is where it gets really interesting, though, and it's the My Project. So the entire idea of this is that we want to have a Kickstarter on Cardano, right? Where users are able to essentially create their own tokens, create their own initial coin offerings, and then release their project. So the first step, of course, is to mint a token. So a user come here, they enter their token name, they enter their token description. I'm being lazy, and I've got nothing in this. If I'm correct, I've got nothing in this. Oh, not Giro, it's Typhoon for this. Yeah, I can't mint right now. I got no test, sorry. But you guys can all go onto the test. It's on right now, T-1.pro, app.t-1.pro, and you can all play with this yourself. Put in all the things. I can't be bothered getting a logo. I'm too lazy. Then once you've done that, you go to the Create ICO, project name. You put in the project name. You put in the project subtitle. You put in the project description. You put in the category, DEX. You put in your tokenomics. I'm going to be really quick and lazy here and just do this. I might actually go through and make this one quickly because I think it will be worthwhile. Token symbol doesn't really matter. Token supply also doesn't really matter. Roadmap milestone 1, boom, name 1, exclamation mark. I love that. And boom, and double exclamation mark. Love that. Okay, next, almost done. Oh no, I have to upload an image. We can literally just do a stupid image, guys. Let's go. Oh no, look at that. There we are. IDP. Oh, good stuff, IDP. You're one of them. And IDP too. There we are. Next. Links. I'm just going to do google.com. And it has to have www. Okay. There we are. Take off. Now we're taking off. IO created successfully. So here we have the page that we've just made. Now this one is all going to be filled with stupid things, but if we look at one that isn't filled with stupid things, this is how it normally looks, right? So information, you've got your tokenomics, your distribution, team's roadmap, right? And then this is where users come to buy the tokens as well. Now, once you've got your project here in the initial coin offering, this is where then the projects create their sale, right? Because you need to create your sale. So how many tokens are you putting in through the pre-sale? If it's the pre-sale info, what are the token prices in the pre-sale? Are there preconditions for the pre-sale? What's the purchase token? Sales info as well. You know, the main sale, how many tokens are you doing? Again, this is silly because I've done 5% pre-sale and 95% team, so it makes no sense. But again, the purchase tokens, these are the ones that we're going to have initially, but we want to essentially add this to be any token you want to be the purchase token. And then you put in all the details, maximum raise, min raise, so on and so forth. And then of course you create a vesting schedule. What's your initial release? What's your cliff? What's the cliff duration? 3 months. What's your vesting period? Percentage, sorry. So we've got 50%, because this has to be a sum. Enter here, cliff is 20%, and then 30% is going to be vested over 3 months, and that's going to be 3 times. So that means 10% every month. Boom. I haven't filled in all these details, so I can't actually save it. But you guys get the picture, right? Oh my God, this is in the way now. Okay, I'm just going to press back. There we are. And then someone launches that. And then once they've launched that, boom, then it comes up. And now their sale can go live. We do still have to approve it because we still have to make sure that they're legally compliant. So it's not just absolutely just go live like that. There is still one more layer of validation they have to go through. So I've stopped my share. That's the platform that we've got so far. That's launching with Palm token, which is the token for Zengate Global, and they're launching. We haven't announced the date yet, so I'm not going to give away the date here. That's their job to say. We've also got MOUs, which doesn't mean that they're definitely going to launch on us, but it means that there's a good chance. We've got MOUs currently signed with Matera, Token Allies, Twin, and Atrium. So they're everything we're hoping to have by the end of June. Sorry, we don't know if we're going to have all of that by the end of June though. That's our target. And of course we don't know who's going to arrive and just put stuff in. You know, anyone could just come in and put in projects, and we're really excited to see what happens there. And what makes our thing so different, just very quickly, we've been able to build the first launchpad on Cardano that is fully jurisdictionally compliant, right? And what this means is that we're able to confirm or ascertain that every user that receives a payout from a launched in token is on the KYC list, which is really difficult to do because Cardano is a public blockchain and we don't have the oracles to give the KYC database onto the smart contracts. So the way that we've had to do it is by layering 2 smart contracts, a vesting and the sale smart contract, as well as a bot, a validation bot that works on the transaction builder. And what essentially we do is that users never purchase the token directly. What they do is they come, they purchase, they receive a receipt token, and then at the end of the sale date, they claim it from the vesting page, and they can claim 100% if they want to sell everything at once. And that allows us to then do the second layer validation, and the project tokens are always held in a smart contract, so we don't have control.
That's impressive.
So this is why we're really excited to be working with some big projects here, because we can finally do legally compliant launches on Cardano.
So what is the second layer in the compliance layer? Like you said, okay, I can come and create a project, but now comes the other part where you do the proof.
So
in there, and what's involved for the project? Because I assume that's where you make your money.
Yeah, that's really our money is mostly made just as a percentage of sale. So our target is to be very much like Kickstarter. We just take 5% of sales and we want to get people launching, right? What our layer of validation is, of course, KYB. That's essential and legally required. Any raise that's over $100,000, we also require a lawyer's advice stating that the project is legal, i.e. what they're doing is legal for their jurisdiction. And with the legal advice, we also need confirming that they're not a security. And even then, if the lawyers say they are a security, we can still do it. They just become more geographically restricted. You know, you can just sell to less places now.
And what does KYB include for somebody who has never heard it?
Yeah, KYB means know your business. So similar to KYC, which is know your customer. And KYB essentially involves receiving the business details. So that means the business registration, the certificate of registration, the certificate of licensure under which the business needs to be licensed, as well as the accrediting body for that licensure. And then we need a list of directors, and then at least 2 of those directors have to KYC.
So the general developers, meme coin will have a slightly hard time if they're
Well,
not.
again, there is that general level which allows you to raise $100,000 or less without essentially having to go through that full process.
Yeah.
And that's just because we're legally able to do so because we're not including America, basically, really, let's be honest. But yeah, in terms of doing really large meme coin launches, it might be difficult unless you have a business, right? Which isn't hard. You just register a business.
Exactly. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very
Now-
nice.
Now, the very last part of this, and I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time, guys.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
We're building out T-1, of course, because we've built the launchpad now. That's done. We got to optimize a little and stuff, but for the most part, we've built that product. So we are also raising a T-1 token, which is going to give you all the advantages of a launchpad token. So it's going to allow you into pre-sales. It's going to let you get discount on launching tokens. All of that sort of classic launchpad utility. But what we're really excited for is what we're building out next, which is called Mission Control. And Mission Control is essentially a platform that allows a dashboard for projects to manage all the different blockchain functions that are needed to manage the background of a project. And I mean, if any of you guys here have built some projects, which looking at the audience, I know a few have definitely been working in that field. Your area of specialties, whatever your project is, whether that be AI or whether that be some form of generative AI as an example, or whether that be a DEX and you want to do liquidity. My expertise is in trading. Whether that be you want to do lending, whatever it is that you want to do as a project, right? Your specialty is whatever it is you're doing. Most people's specialty aren't managing governance, managing liquidity pools, managing lending protocols, managing a treasury, managing marketing campaigns. All these sort of functions that exist around the project that are super important for the project to be functional currently all have to be managed on a one-by-one basis by each project. So we're creating a dashboard to essentially automate these functions on behalf of projects. So for example, the liquidity dashboard, you'd go to the liquidity dashboard, log in with the project wallet, and you'd have a list of all the DEXs. You'd have a list of how much of your liquidity is in each DEX. You'd have a list of how much has been traded in each of those DEX, what's the volume to liquidity ratio, and then what's the process that I have to go through to get a farm with each of these DEXs, right? Then I can move over to the governance tab. Want to create a treasury? No worries. Click a button. It goes through ADAO, automatically creates a treasury for you, right? You want to create a governance protocol? Click Create Governance Protocol. Select a few things. Do you want it to be Agora? Do you want the voting to be linear, parabolic? A few different settings. Click a button, and then it essentially creates a back end for you that you can now embed into your front end, so you can now have governance. The one that we're going to be releasing first is actually going to be campaigns, and it's a system which allows projects to essentially put up a campaign to influencers, and then influencers to accept that campaign. It's a very simple jobs posting boards for campaigns for influencers on Cardano. And we expect this to take about 1.5 years in total to build out. But then the entire idea is that we create this funnel where we can take businesses and people with business ideas and entrepreneurs that want to build on the blockchain. We give them a legally compliant manner on which to launch on Cardano, and then we give them a tool that lets them do all of the background stuff without having to manage it themselves. So they can just focus on building their business and building their project.
Nice.
And that's T-1.
Yes, fantastic. And I have a couple of questions, actually.
Please.
The first is about T-1. Do you also are part of the offering the service for creating the coins and all the fantastic things you already told us? Do you also plan to have like a consultancy for creating tokenomics and drive people better in the kind of business? Because that's
Yeah,
one of the hardest
I
parts.
already have a consultancy creating tokenomics.
Okay.
And I work with a lot of projects. So yes, it would be silly for me not to extend that that consultancy that I already run into an adjacent service alongside the system, right? What we really want, and I guess I should say this is where most of this entire idea comes from. I think I've advised around about 12 projects or so in the Cardano space now. I helped build Kopi's tokenomics. I helped build Noom's tokenomics. I tried to help fix Drip Drop's tokenomics, but yeah, they're rough. But I've worked with a lot of people, and all of them face the same series of problems, right? Like all of them have the same set of questions, which is how many tokens do I mint? What do I do with my liquidity? How do I manage that liquidity? How do I manage an airdrop? How do I manage competitions and rewards? And what rate do I inflate my token? They're your core questions, right? One of the main reasons why I want to build this system is because I want to create something that can essentially allow me to automate my consultancy. Because I'm kind of sick of having to sit there every single time with a project to tell them the same thing. And I don't mean that rudely, because it's important information. But I'm also a CEO of T-1 and the CEO of Wi-Fi at the same time, right? So what I want to be doing is I want to be creating as automated as possible a system to be walking projects through that funnel and then guiding them to products where they can pay us extra money if they want that extra service. Right?
Cool.
But by default, no. But as I said, absolutely the consultancy's involved. Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm off to bed. Thank you so much.
Steven, see you. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you
Ciao.
again.